Good evening and welcome to the post-game press conference for the FIBA Asia Cup 2022 Group D game between Team Lebanon and Philippines. The game ended with score 95 for Lebanon and 80 for Philippines. The Philippines team coach Vincent Chot Reyes and the player number 15, Kiver Rivena, have joined us. So may I ask you to switch off your mobile phones. The press conference will be conducted in English. Coach Chot Reyes, could you please give us your comments?
Unfortunate that the result turned out this way, but I thought we made a great run. We never quit, even when we were down by almost 20 points in the fourth. We made a great run to get within single digits midway to the fourth quarter. But the spread, the buffer that they got in the third quarter when they were hitting all those three-point shots was just too much for us to overcome. And so I think that was the story, plus our turnovers. We gave them 21 points off turnovers. And if we were able to cut that down, then it would have been a much closer ball game. But for us, it's a great learning experience. We have a very young team here, and for them to be able to experience this kind of very high-level competition, I think that's the most important thing.
Thank you, Coach. Kiver Rivena, can you please also give us your comments?
Just like what Coach said, it was a tough game for us, but most importantly, we have another chance, another opportunity to bounce back. And now our championship game is our next game against India, and we have to prepare mentally, physically for another grind-out game. We played against India, but I think it's a different team right now that they sent here in the FIBA Asia Cup, so you have to be really tough and mentally prepared coming into that game.
Thank you. Any questions?
Good evening, Coach Chot. You had a unique five on the floor when the comeback started. JP Aram, Tamayo, I think it was Abando, Belangel, and Navarro. What were you looking for in terms of the lineup that would help you get back into the ballgame?
I was really looking for a spark off the bench. We started off well with that starting unit, but when Lebanon got the hang of defending that starting unit, they were stopping the things that we wanted to do. So we thought if we get other guys on the floor, then we would be able to do a good job, number one. And number two, with those fresh legs, I thought we were able to chase a little bit more defensively as well. And I think that was the important thing. Poy Aram's defensive presence is very big for us. Unfortunately, we couldn't play him a lot in the first half because he had those 3 quick fouls. So he picked up three fouls right away. But I think that was the important factor there. And very pleased with Will Navarro's defense on Arakji. I thought that was also very important. And that's why we were able to get back. And that's what I was looking for with that kind of a lineup.
Coach, you've been talking about how it is important to have experience for the younger players, especially for the much younger bigs. How will they get used to defending bigs who can shoot from the outside like what Lebanon did in the third quarter?
Yeah, first of all, it's not a question only of our bigs being able to defend those shooting bigs, but it's really the entire team's ability to rotate and cover and pick out those shooters. And you're right, it's a learning experience. It's a learning experience for our bigs. They had to be able to help inside on the penetration of the guards of Lebanon and still at the same time get out to not necessarily their men, but other people should be able to pick up their men, and they have to pick out perhaps another guy on the outside for the additional rotation. So, like I said, continuous development, continuous learning. I mean, what do we have? Our power forwards, Carl Tamayo and Kevin Kembao, have played a grand total of 1 year in college. This is a huge experience for them, right? And Gio Chu isn't even the starter in his own collegiate team, so you can imagine the kind of experience and learning he's getting from this experience. So hopefully we'll like I said, I'm very pleased with their progress and their ability to fight it out. Sure, the Lebanese players were really very skilled, but that's the only way to learn, right? To play against superior talent.
Coach, a couple of questions from Randolph Leongson of Spin.ph. First, can you share with us what led to the decision to still have 30 Ravenna play in the second half? And then second, how happy were you with the performance of the shooters in this ballgame?
Well, 30 said that he was okay, so he was willing to give it a try. He tried, he warmed up at halftime, so we said, okay, let's give it a go. And then the next thing was our shooters again. And this is something that we will have to constantly deal with, which we've learned from way back. Our shooters, when you're in international competition and you have these 6'6", 6'8", 6'9" guys flying at you, the ability to make shots is different. But still, Ray Parks made his shots. Carl Tamayo, SJ as well, was able to make his threes. So again, they just have to get used to that. The only way that they can improve is to get used to that. This is something we don't get at home, right? In the Philippines, they don't have this kind of athletic, tall, big, mobile guys rotating out on them and guarding them. So this is going to be continuous development for them. Like Ray is pretty used to it because he's playing overseas, but for the others, that's going to be a huge
final question, Keith. How do you balance being a teammate and keeping the team okay after the accident of 30 and still being a big brother? Of course, you were worried about his state, and were you surprised that he came back into the ballgame?
Well, syempre, I think to begin with, we had to, even before the start of the game, we're teammates. The brothers are set aside, but sometimes, you get carried away, especially with what happened. It was really scary. It wasn't something that he just fell down or something like that. It was really scary, and it wasn't just me. 30 has 11 other brothers in the team, so everybody was just as worried as I am. And until now, obviously, it was his head, so you have to take care of concussions and everything else that follows. And he said he wanted to throw up in the court during that time when he fell down. So I was really worried. But then again, knowing him, I wasn't surprised that he came back. But obviously, coach knows when and when not to put him in. Because this is a tournament, like what we talked about in the dugout. This is a tournament, and we have another game, and he's a very important part of this team, just like everybody else. We have our roles, and we can't afford to lose anybody here in the team. So hopefully he gets better. We'll see his progress all throughout the night and tomorrow, and we'll see. And I'm sure he'll be ready to play against India.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, if there's no questions, then this is the end of the first part of the press conference, and we'll be back soon with the Team Lebanon. Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you.
post-game press conference. We now have with us the Lebanon coach, Coach Jad El Haj, and the captain of the team, Wael Arakji. Congratulations for the win, Coach.
Thank you.
Can you please give us your comments?
Well, you know, always the first game in any tournament will be hard. So this is what happened to us. First quarter, we were a bit soft. We gave them the lead, but second quarter, third quarter, it was under control. We stepped up again, and we controlled 20 minutes in a row. We made good difference. But as you saw last quarter, especially for 5-6 minutes, we lost focus. They came back, but we succeeded to finish the game by 15 points, which is good as first game in the tournament.
Thank you. Wael Arakji, can you please also give us your comments?
For me, the first game is always the most important. It's very nice to start a tournament in a good way and to win the first game. As Coach said, we were a little bit shaky at the beginning, but we knew how to finish the game strong. We should have been better at maintaining the lead, actually. So we need to focus on that. We had a 21 or 22 points lead. It went down to 8 points. So this is the only bad thing we did today, but very satisfied with the win.
Thank you. Any questions?
Hi, my name is TK from FIBA Asia. Congratulations on the win, first of all. To both of you, you've had 3 pretty big wins over the past 2 weeks. So where is your confidence level now heading into the rest of this tournament? And also, how do you keep yourselves focused and not get it into your heads with these big wins?
As you said, we did 3 wins in a row from the window and now. So our main target, always we put the target that to give better and better and to keep going and building game by game. So next game, it will be also a big one against New Zealand. They are performing amazing games. So our target is to always go game by game, to go full focus. We're not going to look who's next and next. We go game by game. We finish against our opponent. Then we put a new target. We start preparing, and we keep going. This is how we keep the focus all the way for all the players.
As Coach said, we take it game by game. We just came from 2 big wins in the World Cup qualifiers. We're so happy about them, but now we're in the FIBA Asia. We need to forget about them and focus on this tournament. Again, game by game, we need to forget about the Philippines round, start building for the New Zealand game. It's not going to be an easy game. It's going to be a very physical game, so we need to be ready. Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the post-game press conference is officially over. Thank you so much for coming.